ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर वासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, canto 10, chapter 52, verse number 14. In the previous class we read how Magadha, king of Magadha, Jarasandha, he came and encircled Mathura city, and Krishna just returned after blessing Muchkunda and getting Kalayavana killed. So at that time he decided to run away and not fight. So he ran along with Balaram. and went to the Pravarshan mountain and climbed on top of that. Then Jarasandha, he could not trace him, so he put fire to the mountain. And then Krishna jumped and went to Dwaraka. So this verse describes what Jarasandha did. So that Magadharaj is sound on. Can hear? You don't notice when they write something?
I saw it also.
Okay. So Jarasandha, he thought that Krishna and Balaram, they are burnt in the fire, which was not true, Mrisha, Manvano. And therefore, taking his army back, which was quite big, Sumahan, he went back to his kingdom, Magadha. Anartadhipati Shriman Raivato Raivatim Sutam Brahmana Choditah Pradad Balaiti Purodhitam. So now that's all he talks about Jarasandha. He does not say anything more. So he focuses on Dwaraka now. So he wants to describe Krishna's marriage. So before that he describes marriage of Balaram only in one sloka. Because it is a custom in India that younger brother does not marry before the elder brother is married. So therefore Balaram's marriage performed only in one sloka, quickly. Sukdev is in a hurry to talk about Krishna's marriage, so he doesn't want to spend much time on Balaram. So he says, Anartadhipati Shriman Raivato Revatim Sutam Brahmana Chodita Pradad Balaiti Purodhitam. He says this was described earlier. This came in 9th canto, this little description that the king of Anartha, whose name was Kukudmi, also known as Raivata, and his daughter's name was Revati. So he was informed by Brahma that he should marry her to Balaram, because Kukudmi along with his daughter went to Brahmaloka to ask whom he should marry his daughter. He says, my daughter's name is Revati, everybody is raving about her. So please tell who is a suitable husband. So at that time Brahma was listening to some musical performance, so he has to wait. Then when he spoke, he says, whom you think are suitable people. So he named some kings. So he says those kings and their descendants and their kingdom, everything is destroyed. This is already the 27th Chaturyugi. You hurry up quickly, otherwise you will miss this opportunity also. Run back. He says, go and offer your daughter to Balaram. So that's what is described here. Brahmana Chodita Pradat. So being informed or guided by Brahma, he offered his daughter Revati to Balaram, and this was already described. So therefore there is not much detail. So Sri Vishnath Chakravarti says, Sri Krishnasya vivahan vaktum pratmam baldeva vivaham navamaskandhoktam anusmarayati anartiti. So he says, Sukdev Goswami wants to speak about the marriage of Sri Krishna, and not one marriage but many marriages, one after another. There will be just line of marriages. So he describes marriage of Baldev and reminding us of the 9th canto description. So Raivata, Revatsutaha, Kukudmi. So Revati's father's name was Raivata because he is son of Revata. So, but his actual name is Kukudmi. So that's all. There is nothing, no more detail on this. Bhagavan api Govinda upaye me kurudvaha Vedarbhim Bhishmak Sutam Shriyo Matram Swayam Vare. And Bhagavan also, Sri Govinda, Dhritarashtra, Parikshit, because these people are rarely called Kurus. So Kurudvaha, Kuru is generally for Dhritarashtra and company. So Upaye me Vedarbhim Bhishmak Sutam. So he married Vedarbhi, who is daughter of King Bhishmaka. So this Vedarbhi, because Bhishmaka is Vedarbha, or his king called King of Vidarbha, and he married it in Swayamvara. So Swayamvara was a ceremony which was arranged by the kings, where various princes and kings were invited, and the princess will choose whomever she wanted to marry. So, but she is called here as Shriyo Matram, that she is the personification of Shri or Lakshmi, or the original source of Lakshmi. So Matram Mool Bhutam. So Matra here means Mool Bhuta, the original, and Sukshma Swarupam Tasya Matra Guna Shabda iti vat. So he says it is subtle form of her is Matra Guna Shabda. The word Matra is used just like we have Tanmatras. So Tanmatras are the source for the Mahabhutas, right? From the Ahankara in Tamas come the Akash Tanmatra, and then from Akash Tanmatra comes Akasha and the Guna Shabda. So that's how he is taking. He says Matra Guna Shabda iti vat. So Krishnasya Swayam Bhagavatve tasyapi Swayam Lakshmitva Auchityat. Says because Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, so Rukmani has to be Swayam Lakshmi. So that's the meaning of Matra. Pramathya Tarsa Rajyah Shalva Adinshadya Pakshagan Pashyatam Sarvalokanam Tarksha Putraha Sudhamiva. So how did he marry? Because he was not invited for the Swayamvar ceremony, but he came on the invitation of Rukmani, as we will read. And then when he went there, he has to fight because he was not invited, but he kidnapped Rukmani. So then all the kings, they came to fight with him. So Krishna defeated all of them, Tarsa, quickly. And while everyone was looking, he ran away with Rukmani. Just like Garuda, he ran away with Amrita. So this story in Mahabharata about Diti and Aditi, right? Is it Diti Aditi or? Yeah. So there, out of 13 wives, 2 wives, Diti and Aditi. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The mother of snakes was not Diti. Her name? Right, Kadru and Vinata. That's what I'm saying, Diti and Aditi. So Kadru and Vinata. So these two, they made a bet because they saw Indra's horse flying in the air. Some horse can fly. So he was flying and they saw. So later on they made a bet that what was the color of the tail of the horse. So Vinata said it is white and Kadru said it is black. So they made a bet that if I win, you have to become my servant, and if I lose, I will become your servant. Good bet. So what can be a better bet? There is bet, and better than bet is better. Right? So, but the thing is that horse is white and the tail is white. So then Kadru told her sons, who were snakes, that before we go to inspect, you go and cover the tail, just surround it, and you are all black in color, so the tail will look black from the far. But the snakes refused. He says, what is this? So that's why they were cursed to be burnt in Parikshit's snake sacrifice, Nagda. But finally some agreed. So when they went to see, it looked black. So then Vinata became servant of Kadru. And Vinata had Garuda as the son. Garuda was born later on. It took 1000 years for Garuda to be born. She gave birth to 2 eggs. The first egg, nothing came out for 500 years. So she broke the egg and Aruna came, but he did not have legs. So he became the driver of sun god. That's why before sun comes out, it is Arunodaya. Right? Because Aruna is the charioteer. Before you see who is sitting in the chariot, you see the driver. So therefore Aruna. So then he is the one who has cursed that he will become servant of your sister. After that only this thing happened. Cursing was a very interesting phenomena before. People did not have control over their anger. So they would curse. So then she did not break the other egg. She was afraid that I already got cursed once. So after 1000 years, then Garuda came out. But now Garuda, small Garuda, he has to also become servant along with the mother. So he has to carry all the snakes on his back. So he became snake carrier instead of Vishnu carrier. So he's taking snakes here and they're taking us, take us to Ramnadvip. Let's go for picnic there. So he is carrying these hundreds of snakes on his back. So one day he got tired. He says, what is this? These snakes bothering me all the time. So he asked his mother, why is that we have to serve them? So she told the story. So then he went and he asked the snakes that, what can I give you that we become free from this slavery? So the snakes were very poisonous. They said, if you can give us nectar from heaven. So poisonous snakes wanted also nectar. So he says, okay, I will bring it, and then we'll become free. So he went to Swarga, and this nectar is kept in a pot, and it is protected. Like if you want to protect, you keep boundary around it and pass electric current. So anybody touch it, he will be killed. So Garuda went from top without touching anything. They did not think somebody will come from top. So he went and he took away the pot. So when he took away the pot, then Indra was informed. Indra came running, because this is the special thing of heaven. So he told, come on, stop, otherwise I will kill you. So Garuda said, what, kill me? Who are you to kill me? So then Indra, he threw his Vajra on him. And it is said that Vajra, if he throws Vajra, his thunderbolt, the person will die. So Garuda, nothing happened to him. But he told Indra that, look, I don't want to disrespect your thunderbolt. So I dropped one of my feathers. And now you go home. Don't try anything with me. So then he dropped one feather. That's all. Otherwise Indra is very powerful. So then he says, why are you doing it? Please don't give this poison, this nectar to these poisonous snakes. They will trouble everybody. So he says, what can I do? I have to get rid of this slavery. So Indra says, don't worry, I will give you the technique that you go take it and you put it on the ground on kusha grass, because this is very pure. And then you tell the snakes that you cannot drink this unless you go and take bath in Yamuna. You have to purify yourself. This is not eating rats. Snakes eat rats, things. He says, this is Amrita coming from there, so go and clean yourself first. And I'm putting the pot here. So they were happy. He says, okay, now I've given you the pot, we are free. And then Indra, he came and he took away and ran back to heaven. So when snakes came, they saw the pot is gone. And pot was put on the kusha grass. So they all started licking it. And kusha grass is very sharp. So that's why their tongue got cut. Now you see snakes have two tongues. That's why they have two tongues. Before it was only one. Interesting stories in Mahabharata. So that is what is referred here by Shukadeva. He says, Tarksha putra sudhamiva. That just as Sudha, Amrita or nectar was swooped away by Garuda from heaven, like that Krishna, he took away Rukmani from the midst of all these kings, defeating all of them. That's how he is comparing it. So Sri Raja Uvacha. So the king was not very happy. Just he says, okay, you told Balram's marriage in one sloka. Tolerable. But you are telling Krishna's marriage also in one sloka? Not tolerable. So you have to give some details to this. So he says this. Bhagwan Bhishmaka Sutam Rukmanim Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upyema iti Shrutam Bhagwan Shrotum Ichchami Krishnasya Mita Tejasaha Yatha Maghada Shalvadin Jitva Kanyam Upaharat. So king said that we have heard that Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he married the daughter of King Bhishmaka, Srimati Rukmani, who is having very beautiful face, Ruchiranana. But he married it by the Rakshas Vidhi. So this is very interesting that Krishna, who is Deva Deva, who is the Lord of all Lords, but he is marrying Rukmani by the Rakshasa Vidhi. So in the Smriti Shastra, there are 8 types of marriages which are described. Brahma, Deva, Arsha, Prajapatya, Sura, Gandharva, Rakshasa and Paishach. So different Varnas are allowed different types of marriages. So Brahma, Daiva, Arsha, Prajapatya and Sura, these are the nice ones, where there is no fighting, this, that. There are little differences in that. In some, you have to give some donation to the father, like one cow or one bull. In another one, Prajapatya, the father decorates the daughter and gives some dowry, etc., like that. Generally, these are recommended for the Brahmanas. Then there is Gandharva. Gandharva is what you call these days as love marriage. So don't think that love marriage is coming from the West. It's also there in Indian Smritis. This is how King Dushyanta married Shakuntala. That was the Gandharva Vivaha. And then there is the Rakshasa Vidhi. This is the seventh one. And this is described in Manusmriti. He says, Hatva, Chitva, cha bhitva cha kroshantim ruditam grihat prashab kanyaharnam rakshasi vidhiruchyate. So Rakshasi Vidhi is when the person who wants to marry a girl, he goes and forcibly takes away the girl. So he may kill some relatives, hatva, bhitva, chitva, or break arm or something else, or some building. And the girl is crying, kroshantim, that protect me, he is running away, he is abducting. So forcibly taking the girl like this is called Rakshasi Vidhi. So Krishna also did this, but it was not pure Rakshasi Vidhi. Because here the girl herself has invited him, so it was a mixture of Gandharva and Rakshasi. Because she said, I love you and I want to marry you only, as we will read. So she was not crying. She was actually anxious because Krishna did not reach in time. Almost he arrived at the last minute. So she was happy that he came. But it is Rakshasi because the brothers and the father, they did not know it and they had planned to marry her to Shishupal. So actually I think the father wanted, maybe it will come.
Rukmi promised.
Rukmi is the one. I think the other brothers, they were not in favor of Shishupal, but Rukmi, because he did not like Krishna. So therefore he has to fight. So it became Rakshasi Vidhi. So pure Rakshasi is like Bhishma went to Kashi and abducted 3 daughters. They were not ready to marry them, they wanted to marry Shalva. At least one of them. I don't know if all 3. But Amba wanted to marry Shalva. So this is described here. Bhagavan Bhishmak Sutam Rukmanim Ruchirananam Rakshasena Vidhanena Upyeme iti Shrutam. So that he said, we have heard like that. Rakshasena, Rakshaso Yuddhaharanat iti Smriti. So Rakshas Vidhi, in some Smriti it is said where you fight and you kidnap the girl. That is called Rakshas Vidhi. So he says that I want to hear more details of this marriage of Krishna, who is supremely powerful, and how he conquered over the king of Magadha and Shalva and other kings and abducted the girl. Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhvir Loka Malapaha Kona Tripyeta Shinvana Shrutagyo Nityanutanaha. He said that, O Brahmana, I want to hear stories of Sri Krishna which are very pious, they are very sweet, and they take away the impurities of anyone who hears them. He says, who will be satisfied by hearing the stories of Sri Krishna, even if he is a Shrutagya, means even if he has heard them. Why? Nitya Nutana, because they are ever fresh. Just like Krishna is ever fresh, so his katha, his pastimes, they are also ever fresh. So you don't feel bored by hearing them. Devotees, non-devotees would feel. So of course, earlier, if you remember, in the very first chapter of 10th canto, Parikshit said that except for those who are killer of animals, who would not like to hear Vina Pashugnath. So he says, who else would not like to hear? So saying, Kona Tripyeta Shinvana Shrutagyo Nitya Nutana. They are always fresh and they are sweet, nectarian. So Madhvir Madhura. Madhvi means Madhura, sweet. Shinvana, Shinvan. Shinvana means Shinvan. Shatri Pratyaya. So Sri Shuka Vacha, Sri Shukdev Goswami, he now gives some details of the marriage. Because people also like to hear stories about marriage. So if you have desire to hear stories about marriage, then better hear about Krishna's marriage. So she said, Raja Shrid Bhishmako Nam Vidarbhadhipatir Mahan Tasya Pancha Bhavan Putraha Kanyaika Cha Varanana. He says there was a king named Bhishmaka who was the ruler of the state of Vidarbha. Vidarbha is in Maharashtra. It's north side of Maharashtra. So it's below Gujarat. And currently in Maharashtra. So that's where he was. And he was a great king, Adhipatir Mahan. And Tasya Pancha Bhavan Putra. He had 5 sons and 1 daughter. So daughter was very beautiful, Varanana. Varanana means, what is the meaning of Varanana? Beautiful face. Anana means face. So Anana is described asamantat na. Na. That when Krishna's face, all the face is called, everybody's face can be called Anana. But when it is Krishna's face or Rukmani's face, then it is called na. He says there is no face like this. That's why it got the name Anana. So Varanana. So what are the names of these? All their names are beginning with Rukma. Rukma means gold. So they were all goldies. Sometimes some people have named Goldie. There's also Goldie biscuit. So they were all goldies. Therefore they are called Rukmi Agrajo, Rukma Ratho, Rukma Bahuranantara, Rukma Kesho, Rukma Mali, Rukmanye Sham Swasasati. So the eldest, number 1 was called Rukmi. Number 2 was called Rukma Ratha. So Rukmi actually means Goldie. Rukmi means Rukma Asti Asyati. One who has gold is Goldie. So he has Rukma, he is Rukmi. The next one was Rukma Ratha, who has a chariot made of gold. And Rukma Bahu, who had golden arms. Then Rukma Kesha, he had blonde hair. So blondie. And then Rukma Mali, who had a garland, golden garland. Anyway, these are just names, doesn't mean that they have to be Rukma Mali and Rukma Ratha. And then the sister's name was Rukmini, who was very chaste and pious. I don't think there is any commentary on this. So Bhagni Krishnaya Vatum Datum, no, it's not, on 25th. Sopshrutya Mukundasya Rupavirya Gunashriyah Grihagatair Giyamanas Tammene Sadrisham Patim. So this girl, Rukmani, she has heard about Mukunda because Krishna, he was famous by this time. His stories were already floating in different kingdoms because he was doing so many amazing things, like killing this Jarasandha's army 17 times. This is not an ordinary thing. So this news must have spread all over India. That who is this person? He's killing so many people. Besides that, he killed Kamsa. Kamsa was also very powerful. So everybody has, at least the royal people, because Brahmanas will go, they hear stories. So she also heard. So if she heard, means it was quite well known. So what she heard, that not only how he is powerful, but how he is intelligent. Roop, beauty, virya, prowess, qualities, and wealth. She has heard Upashrutya, and from whom Grihagatairs, people who have come to their kingdom, and they used to tell stories. So maybe they were telling in the court, but then from there Bhismak will go and tell to them, and he is having his lunch that we heard today with some guy called Krishna. So then she heard, and just by hearing she fell in love with him. And she thought that this is the boy I want to marry. He is suitable husband for me. Tam buddhi lakshana audarya rupa shila gunashrayam shrayam krishnascha sadrishim bharyam samudvodhum manodadhe. And Krishna has also heard about her. And he also wanted to marry her because he has also heard that she is very intelligent, has all the good qualities, Lakshana. She is Lakshmi. And very generous, beautiful, good character, all good qualities. So he also thought that she will be suitable wife for him. So he also desired to marry her. So it was from both sides. Bandhunam ichchatam datum krishnaya bhagnim nripa tato nivarya krishna dvid rukmi chadyam annita. So he says that the king, no, the king is for Parikshit. So he says that bandhunam ichtam datum krishnaya bhagnim, that the brothers, they wanted to give their sister to Krishna, but Rukmi, the eldest, who did not like Krishna, is called here as Krishna Dvit. It's not mentioned why he did not like. Maybe he was jealous that how is that this person is so powerful. So he, because he was eldest, and we have to listen to the elders. So he stopped them and he says, no, I want to marry my sister to Chadya. Chadya is Shishupal. So he thought Chadyama Manyata. He thought that it is Shishupal who is suitable match for my sister and not Krishna. So Bhagini Krishnam Datum Ichchato Bandhun Pitradin Anadritya Swabaladeva Tatah Krishnat Tan Nivarya Rukmim Tam Datum Varam Chadyam Amanyata iti anvaya. So the other brothers, including father, they all wanted to marry Rukmini to Krishna. But Rukmi, he did not listen to all of them. And by his own power, means he convinced or he forced everyone and said that no, I don't want to marry her to Krishna. I want to marry her to Chadya. So he thought that it is Shishupal who is more suitable for the marriage. Tadeva Tadavetya Sitapangi Vedarbhi Durmana Vrisham Vichintayaptam Dujam Kanchit Krishnaya Prahinodrutam. So when Srimati Rukmani came to know about it, and she has black eyes, Asita Pangi, she does not have blue eyes. So when she came to know that this is what Rukmi wants, then she felt very sad because she wanted to marry Krishna. So she also did not want to surrender to Rukmi's wish. So what she did, that she called a Brahmana, Dvijam. And what kind of Brahmana? Aptam Dvijam, who was very reliable Brahmana, not somebody who will play some trick. So she called him and sent him with a message to meet Krishna and tell him that. So Krishna Prahinot Drutam. And she has to do it quickly because you have to go from Kundinpur, is the place, right? That's where they were. And come to Dwarka. And going to Dwarka was not easy because Dwarka was inside the sea. So he had to take a boat. And he has to have money, and the boatman may not agree to go that far. So he has to be sent immediately. So he came anyway, he was very faithful to Rukmani. That's why she is using the word of Apta. So Krishna Manetum. Why did she send? Says she wanted to invite Krishna for the marriage ceremony. So he went Dwarkam sa samabhyatya pratiharai praveshitah apashyadadyam purushamasīnam kanchanasane. So he reached Dwarka, and when he reached Dwarka, then he met the gatekeepers, and because there are many gates to reach Krishna, so they took him Pratiharai Dwarpalai. Pratihara means Dwarpal, the gatekeepers. And he was brought inside where Krishna was sitting. So he saw Krishna, who is the original person, and Krishna was sitting on a golden throne. He is no more that Brajiya Krishna running around barefoot. Now he is a royal person. So he is sitting on a royal throne, nicely decorated with crown and everything. So apashyad adyam purusham asinam kanchanasane. So that's how he saw him. So pratiharai dwarpalai. Pratihar means the gatekeepers. Drishtva brahmanya devastam avruhya nijasanat upveshyarham chakre yathatmanam divaukasaha. So when Krishna saw him, then he immediately got off from his throne. Because Krishna is very respectful to Brahmanas. So he understood that he is a Brahmana by his dress, by his appearance. So just as he saw him apashyadad drishtva, so he is called here as Brahmanya Deva, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahman Hitaya Cha. So Brahmanya Deva means one who worships Brahmanas. So you will see this, he is actually like that. So he got down from his throne and he made the Brahmana sit. And then he worshipped him, Arhyam Chakre. And how did he worship? He said just like the Devas worship him, like that he worshipped the Brahmana, means with big paraphernalia, big worship. Brahmana was also surprised that I am just a messenger. Why is he worshipping me like this? Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam upgamya satam gatihi paninabhimrishan padav vyagrastam aprichyata. So after that, then he gave him food, like you do arti, then you put some bhog for the Thakur, right? Some people do the offering first, then they do arti, right? Some people do arti first, then they give something to eat. So Krishna did the arti first, then he's giving him nice meal to eat. He's coming from long distance. Then he gave him some time to rest, Vishrantam Upgamya, Satam Gati. And Krishna, who is the destination of sadhus, devotees. So then he went, when he is lying down in his bed, he went and started massaging his feet. So sometimes people think that Krishna is just Lord. Recently somebody asked me a question that how Krishna, we worship Krishna, he is God, he is this. Is it not that devotees are codependent? And he is a narcissist. So it's like a narcissist codependent relationship. So here you see what the narcissist is doing and what the codependent is doing. Codependent is lying in the bed, relaxed after having good rabdi, right? And the narcissist is massaging his feet happily. So therefore it says Panina Abhimrishan. He could have also called other people to do service. Could have also called so many servants there. But he himself is doing Panina Abhimrishan. Padav Avyagrasta. And he was not in any hurry. He was very peacefully doing it. Not that let me do it quickly, because it's some kind of ritual. Finish it off like we do japa quickly. Finish it off. Now my rounds are over. Now I'm free. Right? Not like that. So he says, Avyagrastam. Avyagrastam aprichyata. That he was not in any hurry or anxiety, in a very relaxed manner. And then he asked him, finally, why, what do you want? Why have you come here? So Abhimrishan Shanai Sammardhayan. So Abhimrishan means he was doing it very slowly, gently, not in a hurry, not with force, not quickly, but in a very gentle manner. And then he asked him, Kachit Dujvara Shrestha Dharmaste Vriddha Sammataha Vartate Nati Krishrena Santushta Manasah Sada. So he is asking him that, O Brahmana, the best of the Brahmanas, are you happy and you are situated in your dharma, which is approved by the elderly people, sages, the knowers of dharma, and are you leading your life without any difficulty? Atikrishena na vartate. And are you ever satisfied? So santushta manasadvija sada. So asantushta dvija nashta. If the brahmanas are asantushta, then they are lost, they are no more brahmanas. So asantushta dvija nashta. Dvija should be santushta. So that's what he's saying, santushta manasa sada. Santushto yarhi varteta brahmano yena kenachit ahiyamana swadharmat sahashya khil kamadhuk. So he says that a brahmana, if he remains satisfied somehow or the other and does not deviate from one's dharma, ahiyamana swadharmat sahi asya akhil kamadhuk. So that will satisfy all her wishes. Means he will attain perfection, whatever it may be. But if he is asantushta, asantushto asakrit lokan napnotyapi sureshwaraha akinchanopi santushte shete sarvanga vijvaraha. If he is asantushta, if he is not satisfied, if he is not content, then even if he becomes Indra, even if he gets the wealth of Indra, he will wander from one loka to another loka, because there is no limit of it, how much you want. Akinchanopi santushta shete sarvanga vijvara. But if you don't have anything and you are content within yourself, you can sleep without taking any sleeping pills, because you are sarvanga vijvara. You don't have any anxiety, any stress, no problems. So sadharmasya brahmanasya akhil kam dogdha bhavati. If one remains satisfied, then that dharma brahmana will give everything. So dharmadarthasya kamasya sakimartham na sevyate urdha bahu viromya se na kaschit shinoti me. So from dharma will come artha and kama. Yadva sa brahmano asya vishwasya akhil kam dhukati. Or it can mean that a brahmana who is satisfied, he can satisfy the whole world. Yes, this power. Lokan apnoti lokal lokantaram pariyatiti. But if you are not satisfied, you wander from one place to another place. Go here, go there, let's go there, let's go to this place. So you keep on going here, there, trying to get more money. Naekatra nirvrittas tishtati ityartha. They cannot sit peacefully in one place because they are dissatisfied. Na apnoti iti pathe sureshwaropi bhutva lokan na apnoti uttam shlokan prapto api apraptaiva klushyati. So he says that even if he can become Indra and thus he can attain heaven, then still he feels that he has not attained anything and remains dissatisfied. But if one is satisfied, then he says Shrete Sukhamaste, then he lives happily. So Ashantasya Kuta Sukham. So says Bhavayata Kuta Shanti Ashantasya Kuta Sukham. One who is not Shanta, not peaceful, there is no happiness for that person. And when happiness is not there, then one wanders from one place to another place, from one job to another job, from one thing to another, looking for happiness. So tadeva sarvangeshu vakpani adishu vijvara staprahita. So such a person is not disturbed not only in the mind but even in the body. Body remains calm, peaceful. Sometimes people are active in their body also, cannot sit quietly, move hands, legs. So he says sarvanga Vigatajvara. So we'll stop here if there is any question to ask. Yes.
I was surprised about the description of the Brahmanas, that when they are dissatisfied, then they are lost.
I was reading Sridhar Swami's commentary instead of Vishwanath Chakravarti. Just now I noticed. Anyway, there's not much comment. Yes, what is the question?
My question is that the Brahmanas, they are supposed to be very tolerant and do austerities, meaning accepting voluntarily some discomfort even. So what does it mean that they are lost when they are feeling discontent? I thought this is what they were supposed to.
Then they will run around here, there for money. What is the discontent? For possessions. So then they will give up their own duty, which is study, teaching, yajna. Then they will engage in something. So I don't think I have the connection. Okay, I got it back. Yes, Braj Kishori.
Babaji, I have two questions. One is concerning Rukmini's elder brother who didn't want to get her married to Krishna. That's why he didn't get invited. But you've mentioned that even her father wanted to marry her to Krishna. Why would the word go to the eldest son and not father who could decide whom to invite?
Some sons are like that. That's how Duryodhana was. He did not listen to his father. He was controlling his father. That's why he used the word Bala. Says he was more powerful and therefore he overpowered others. Some children are like that. You don't have any experience, but it happens like this.
I don't. Thank you. And the second question is when Sri Krishna moved or uprooted everyone to Dwaraka, does it mean that from that time Dwaraka was abandoned and uninhabited until Vajrana came and...
you mean the Mathura?
Mathura, yes.
Yes. It's described in one of the Puranas that when Vajranabh came here, there was nothing.
So for about 2 generations, there was nothing happening in Mathura.
Yes, it was deserted.
Thank you.
It is also explained in the Canto Purāṇa Bhagavad Mahatmya how Brajana established the entire Braja.
What is
different pastimes.
What is mentioned? Can you give some detail?
One, he actually, Parikshit Maharaj came and then one sage came and he told them how by performing these actions and how you can establish different pastime places there. And he established all of those places there in Braja.
Okay. Anyone
I
else?
have a question from the verse number 14. It says, so api daddo iti vidisa manuvano bal kesavu vandanse balam atrishya sumahan mathan.
Yes.
What does it balam atrishya sumahan mathan?
Balam here means the force, army, his army.
Okay.
Army is also called force in English also.
Yes.
The same in Sanskrit, balam, force.
And this sumahan is Vidya for Mathan then?
No, Sumahan balam, great force.
Sumahan balam, okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Regarding Swayam Bhagavan, the concept of Swayam Bhagavan being unique to Krishna in Braja, that was my previous understanding. So here also, in relation to Rukmini, he's being addressed as Swayam Bhagavan. So
you mean he is not Swayam Bhagavan?
He is an expansion. That's how.
Yeah,
Braja
this is
Krishna.
some kind of misunderstanding people have. That it's only Swayam Bhagavan here and not there. It's not like that. He's Swayam Bhagavan. Okay, Mohini.
I have two questions, and one is about Garuda and the Nagas you mentioned, but in connection with Krishna or Vishnu. So is this correct that Garuda is a bhakta? This means a Jiva who is the carrier of Vishnu?
Yes.
And so my question is like Sheshanag. Sheshanag is also the carrier of Vishnu?
He's not carrier. He's bed.
Okay. So the Nagas are a very powerful being from the lower planetary systems. And why then Baladev takes the form of a Naga to be his bed?
What is the problem?
I'm just wondering why the Nagas, because the Nagas are very envious beings, they are very powerful, they have many
So human
powers.
beings are mortal by your logic. So now Krishna is in human form, so he should become mortal. That's your logic. If God takes any form, then he gets the qualities of that form, or he has his own quality?
He has his own qualities, but I was just wondering...
No, you are wondering, you are applying your logic to say that he takes this. God is God, he can take any form. What is the problem? You are trying to impose the qualities of that particular form on God. That's your logic.
Yeah, okay, I see. Thank you. And my second question was about the point yesterday, why Krishna didn't tell the truth to Muchukunda. I was wondering, is this...
Suppose you are there, okay, and I don't want to take you with me because you have a very thick nose, or you have very thick lips, or you have very small eyes, something. So I don't want to take you with me because I know that if I take you with me, then my friends will make fun of you. So now shall I tell you straightforward that look, you have ugly lips and therefore I cannot take you with me because my friends will make fun of you. Or I give some pretext and tell you something so that you don't come with me. Which one will be better from your point of view?
Yeah, the pretext, and that was exactly my question. If this was the reason to not tell the truth directly to Muchukunda, to not embarrass him. This was my question.
So if you already know answer, then why are you asking me?
I was not sure that I was like thinking that in Vedic culture you don't say the things directly, but like you say.
It is not Vedic culture, it is everywhere. Everywhere people don't speak all the time directly, in any culture. You don't say all the time, say, to your children, do you say everything? If the children say from where I am born, they tell so many lies that what is that, Santa Claus brings these gifts, is it not a lie?
Yeah.
So why don't tell directly that there is no Santa Claus?
Yeah.
So what is that, this in Vedic culture they don't tell things directly? It's according to the situation. Some people may not take it like that, they may not understand. It's everywhere like that. Okay, the storks brought you. From where they brought you? Okay.